Let's have a look to the mobilization of the ankle joint. Here we have on the inner side the tibial bone, lateral we have the fibular bone, and then within, in the middle, we have the tarsal bone. These three bones, they form the upper ankle joint. As a movement, we have the dorsiflexion, the plantar flexion, and this little movement towards the inside and outside, which is so crucial for the good functioning of this joint. Let me show basic mobilization techniques which help when we have a stiff ankle, let's say after POP. So I bring the foot in a slightly plantar flexion. It's not really a 90 degrees, but it's not really down. It's somewhere in between. There we have the loose position of the joint. That means the joint is loose and I can move the little joints. It will be possible to do a joint play. I hold the lumbar limb like this. I put it on the heel, and now I'm moving. I'm holding the foot and the lower limb. I'm moving in an anterior, posterior and posterior, anterior direction. So I'm mobilizing the joint play. This is important for flexion and extension. If this movement is not free, you cannot really force to dorsal flexion or plantar flexion. This mobilization we do gently. If it is stiff but not painful, I can go even a little bit on the limits, forward and backward. A second important movement is this one. I hold very close to the joint, and here with my finger and on the other side I have closed really on the tarsal bone, and I do this movement. I move it to the inside and outside. A medial clapping and a lateral clapping. I can do that even a little bit under traction. This movement has to be free. If there is no freedom in this medial clapping and lateral clapping, it won't be possible to do a good dorsiflexion. So therefore, wherever we have a reduced, and mainly it's the lateral clapping which is reduced, we have to mobilize it. I have to hold very firmly and close to the joint line of the upper ankle joint, otherwise I won't get it. If I just do like this, it will move here in between calcaneus and talus, or in the lower ankle joint. So I go firmly to it. There is an alternative. I can hold like this and I move it like this. Especially with children we can do that easy. Now the third main technique we call distraction. I hold here on the heel. I hold here nicely, there where is the angle, and now I'm pulling. It's a longitudinal mobilization, or we can call it traction. I create a distraction between the joint surfaces of talus, tibia and fibula. I'm stretching joint capsule. We have the static traction like this, or I mobilize. The intensity of this mobilization can be very soft in case of pain, moderate, or even really pulling on the end of the slack end of the movement. So I repeat, we have anterior, posterior, we have the medial clapping, lateral clapping, and we have the distraction. To stretch this joint, we can use the hand like this. I put it on my lower arm and then I come up. Whenever I do this technique, first I bring the ankle joint in a middle position between medial and lateral clapping, and then I come up. and I hold, intensive stretching, holding that stretching. If I stretch with the knee in extension, I will stretch the long muscle of the lower lumbar limb. If I will do it in a position like this, I'm stretching the more profound, the small muscle in the lower limb. Now we are coming to the lower ankle joint, which is here. We have small little bones in here, and the main mobilization is this one. The joint line is more or less like this, so I have to move like this. So I hold it, and now I move. I can move the whole joint line from the medial until to the lateral part. You see, when I'm moving, I'm not clapping down like this. It's parallelly, it moves like this. Or I can do it more concentrated on the medial part, and then I will show you I can do it as well on the lateral part of the foot. So I'm turning my position, I'm coming here, and I do it like this. This is the main mobilization of the lower ankle joint. I can do it transversely like this too. And a more regional technique like this. It seems I'm massaging the foot. With the finger, I hold it and I move up, down, like this. And again, traction. I hold the foot like this and I pull. I pull in this direction like this, so the longitudinal movement along the mid-carpal bones. Now we are coming to the mid-tarsal bones, metatarsals, which you just move like this. We have the head of the metatarsal bones. You move one against the other. And again this technique. Okay, these are the basic techniques for the upper and the lower ankle joint.